to the first of the 2022 editions of Garden Spaces. We're back visiting with North Baptist Church again this year. They have got their garden all planned out, as much as you can plan out a garden, really. And we're going to take you from start to finish. So right now we're at the house of the pastor, Richard Reed, and his wife, Lynn, as you may remember from last year, who did a lot of the work on their garden at the church. And over here you started a lot of things out that were going to be kind of like the early plantings. Mm-hmm. What did you have?
Well, in April we started the tomatoes from seed, and I put those in the house, started them in the house. And then the green peppers I started in later April. And then these things mostly went in May. Uh-huh.
Okay.
There's quite a variety.
Yeah. And you'd actually, because of the really weird weather we had where the temperatures going up and down like a roller coaster, lost a little bit of some of that planting that you had done. And what did you lose on that?
Over at the church and the community garden, we lost the cucumbers, but I think they were too small for us to put out. So next year we'll wait till they're a little bigger before we put them out.
Yeah.
And we planted the week before Memorial Day. So it's going now, but it's not completely done. I have 2 more beds I have to weed and then put the peppers in.
Yeah, and then there'll still be other stuff coming later in the season, mm-hmm. too.
Yep.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is, because you can see the greenhouse behind us, we're going to take a little tour through that and find out what they've got on the docket to plant down at the church when they get big enough to withstand all the rigors of New England weather.
Yes.
Okay, let me just grab the camera so we can go through and show you all of what's in there. Okay, Lynn, we're inside your greenhouse here now, mm-hmm. and you have actually replanted some new, well, not replanted, you've planted some new cucumbers to replace the ones that kind of got baked in the sun earlier.
Yes.
Where have we got those? We just take a peek and see how they're doing.
All along this edge here. And these I just put in last week. And it says watermelon, but I think the watermelons died out. So these are all cucumbers now. But back there are the healthy cucumbers.
Back in the back row
yes.
here? Yep.
Yes. So.
And you're growing some stuff for your own house in here too.
Yes.
What have we got here?
These are the radishes.
Oh, radishes.
And
good for salads.
Yes.
Among other things.
Yes. But I hope they grow quickly, because once it gets hot, they're very bitter. They like the cooler weather. Mm-hmm. So we should have been having radishes by now, but I pulled one up and it's not quite ready.
Yeah. And you've got
the parsley that just grows.
Yeah.
That is like 2 or 3 years old, and even when it was snowing outside, this thing was growing.
Hardy parsley, just what you need in New England.
Yes.
And right in front of that we have carrots too, I see.
Yes, these are the carrots, and they do well in here because the dirt is loose. They like loose dirt rather than the packed dirt.
I have heard they like loose dirt, and sometimes that's not so good because sometimes the seeds get washed away if you're not careful.
Right, but I put a cover over them when I first planted them, and one of those black cloth covers, and I just covered this whole path right here, and as you can see, they stayed nicely in this path.
And we have a nice New Englandy path to travel in the greenhouse.
The shells.
The broken shells. Like people down in the Cape have all over the place for their walkways and their yards.
Yes.
What else? Oh, here's something. What have we got
here?
The
lettuce. Yesterday I harvested a lot of it. So.
What variety is this?
Ooh. Just a green leaf lettuce.
All I know is that it's not iceberg.
Right.
So.
A green leaf lettuce, and then the beans are doing well.
Yeah.
But something likes to eat them.
Oh my goodness.
And I have this closed up at night, but I don't know.
Something little is getting in here.
Something got in there. And then over here we have another kind of lettuce. This one is black-seeded Simpson. So those need to be thinned. The spinach needs to be thinned, and when they go to seed like this, you need to pluck this off.
Oh, yeah, that keeps them from flowering and...
Right. Unless you want to keep these seeds, you gotta pick them. So the spinach goes up to here, and then we have kale. And you can tell by the curly, jagged edges that this is kale.
And behind here we have some...
And these are bell peppers.
Bell peppers. Oh, I remember seeing those last summer when we were
Yes.
looking at things. And behind them, we have all
the
kinds
winter
of
squash. Back there we have acorn. Here we have butternut. And over here the pumpkin. And they need to be thinned out too, which is why I have these containers here. Some of my neighbors want some of these, and then we'll put some...
Oh, being a good neighbor. And outside there on the lawn, we do have some things that we're going to take down to the church and plant down there while I'm here with you.
Yes, more bell peppers. The red ones. There's broccoli, a few cucumbers, spinach, and the green bell peppers.
So it looks like we've got our work cut out for us at the church right now.
Yes.
Maybe we should take a little break and go down to the church and see what's going on down there.
Okay.
Well, here we are down behind North Baptist Church at the community garden. And those of you who saw the program that we did from here last year will recognize the garden behind us with its raised beds and its nice little fence around the outside. And things are looking a little bit neater down here than last year. Things got kind of out of hand with grass growing and things like that. And you have somebody doing that for you now. And you want to tell us about that?
Yes, it's CBX Landscaping of Brockton has been mowing and also doing the weed whacking in between the beds.
Thank you, CBX Landscaping, for your help there. Okay, now we've got stuff planted down here that you've had in for a little while. And you've got other things that you're going to be bringing down in another week or two, I suppose. So what do you still have to do? Because not every bed is quite ready yet, is it?
Right. There are 2 beds that need to be weeded. They just got out of control, and so I have to weed these 2 beds before we put the peppers in. And of course, mulch.
Well, that's something that happens with weeds. They do get out of control. I mean, even a day they will look like they're completely out of control.
Yes. Although, I want you to notice how neat my bean and pea beds are. Because they were weeded yesterday.
Okay, we'll have to praise her for her
Beans and peas.
beans and peas. And boy, I tell you, that's one of the things that I always looked forward to when my mother was growing hers, because I love those early peas. You grab the pods off the vine just before the peas start to develop inside them, and what a great snack that is.
Yep, my favorite too.
Okay, well, let's give me a chance to stop for a second so I can get the camera in the garden, and who knows, maybe when Lynn will be able to cajole me into doing some weeding with her.
So this is the bed of beans, and they've been growing for about a month. So we expect to have flowers on them soon, and after that the bean.
How long will it be before you will be able to harvest beans from these?
Oh, it should be soon. It should be another couple of weeks.
Just a couple of weeks. Boy, that's fast.
Yes.
And this looks familiar.
The peas have been growing since late April, because they didn't mind the cold. So I went ahead and planted them then.
And people can see the flowers
And
right on the peas.
The flowers are already there, so we'll be having the peas within a week.
Nice and tall, and
Yes,
peas love to climb, don't they?
they do. So we have some fencing for them, and we keep their feet covered with mulch. They
Okay.
like their feet covered.
And
This we let the mint grow this year. I hope to clear the bed of mint and put it outside the bed next year. Then we can use the bed for vegetables.
Pull the leaves off, let them dry, and crunch them
yes.
up, and you'll put them in your spice cabinet.
Yes, we'll harvest some, and then we'll plant some others.
Okay, what have we got? Oh, here's an empty bed. Does this one have anything in it yet?
It does. I planted kale in this row.
Okay, we can almost see the
little curly leaves.
yes, the little
coming
curly
up.
leaves. They're awful small now, so it's
Yep.
hard for old folks like me to see
Yeah.
the difference in the leaves there.
And then behind that is the Swiss chard.
Swiss chard next to that where that little marigold is coming up
Yes.
there and down this
That
way.
whole line.
Yeah.
Yes.
What does one do with Swiss chard?
Oh, it's a green, just like your other greens, like spinach.
And
that
kale, so you use
can
it
cook.
basically in the same way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. And I will add broccoli and spinach to this bed.
That's going to be on the near side that we're standing next to then.
Right. They'll be over here, but I'm waiting for them to get a little bigger so that they're not bombarded by the wind.
And maybe a little bit stronger too, so they won't be hardier, so the coolness won't affect them.
Right.
And we have something that's not even growing in a bed here.
Yes, we let the strawberries grow wild. We started with a dozen plants, and now I can't even count how many plants there are, but as you can see, the berries are coming in nicely.
And they are,
Somebody's been enjoying them already.
well, I know from
But-
experience that chipmunks love strawberries.
Yes, and my friends' grandchildren will come over here and help the chipmunks out and eat the rest of them.
And these are small berries too, so they're much sweeter than
Yes,
the
they're
ones
like
you get from most of the commercial
yes,
places
more
who like
flavor.
the big ones. Yeah.
Right. Yes, they're like
Okay.
candy.
What have we got? Oh, we got a little bit of a rock bed here. Is this something?
Oh no, we're letting that be fallow this year.
Okay.
Last year we used it, but
It's a good thing to let things go fallow every now and then.
yes. So here we have summer squash, watermelon, summer squash, which is zucchini, and the yellow squash. And then I planted 3 beds of sunflowers. I only see one. One plant over there.
Well, who knows? The squirrels may have got them too.
They may have.
Squirrels,
Although
chipmunks.
it doesn't look like the dirt is disturbed.
Yeah.
But if they don't pop up soon, I'll put something else there.
Yeah. And now we come to the pièce de résistance of most
Yes.
gardens, tomatoes.
Tomatoes. These are our tomatoes.
What variety? Have you got more than one variety planted
Yes,
this
we
year?
have 3 varieties. Cherry tomatoes,
Uh-huh.
big boys,
Oh, big boys. Great for sandwiches.
and beefsteak.
And same thing with beefsteaks. Both of those
Nice
great for
and fat.
sandwiches. And the
Yep.
cherries are great for salads.
Now in between the rows, you can't tell yet, but I planted some herbs. This one is parsley, and I believe that one is chives, because they do well in between tomatoes.
Oh, in between this other row over here is chives?
So, oh, I'm sorry, it's cilantro.
Cilantro. Oh, well, that's important too.
Yep, yep. So we will have some herbs as well as the tomatoes.
You can always tell when you're at a good taco restaurant if they put cilantro in the tacos,
Oh, that's true.
because that's not a cheap herb to deal with.
Right.
Okay, if you want to just turn around there, we'll go over and see some of the other tomatoes.
Yes, and the same 3
With
varieties.
the marigolds in there to keep the insects away.
Right. Same 3 varieties over here, and in between these beds I have chives in one and basil in another.
We'll go down here to the other end. We can figure out which one is in which place, because
Well-
you've got them well marked down here.
Those were just planted like about a week ago, so they're not come up yet. But hopefully they'll come up soon.
Basil, you planning to make pesto?
Oh, we can. Yeah,
Because that's
Yeah.
a main ingredient for pesto,
that's right.
but it's used for lots of other things too.
Yes, basil. Yep. I use it in mushrooms.
And now we've got,
And here's the cucumber bed, which had a rough start.
yeah.
And even at home, I have a few more cucumbers I can put where I think something nipped off a few of these. Some withered, but others were nipped off by a small animal.
Well, goodness knows there's lots of rodents running around.
Yeah, and the marigolds that are in here, I guess they don't keep away rodents. If I brought my dog over here, that would keep them away. But
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be too happy sitting out here all day long.
it's a guard dog.
My experience with him from earlier was just that he grabs that little ball of his and he just loves to run around with it.
Yes.
Okay, well I guess it's time for us to put the tools down and get to work on a little bit of weeding here.
Oh, if you insist. I've been putting this off.
Well, now you're seeing the fact that I actually do know something other than video work. I can pull weeds with the best of them. Now, this is the first segment in what will turn out to be a 3-part program when we get done. You folks that are watching this one now, when we get through into July somewhere, we will be shooting kind of like a midway along, and then in late August or early September, whichever works out the best, we will be coming back for the harvest. And you'll see all 3 segments put together on that last one. So you get an idea as to how things actually went this year.
Mm-hmm.
And Lynn, it's just been wonderful to come back here again and see the plants that you've had for this garden. And we'll look forward to seeing Edna here at some point too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she's been helping in the garden behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, that's Edna for you. And you have other folks that are helping again this year?
Stephanie, yep. Yes, when we put a call out at church, usually our ladies come and help.
Any newbies this year?
Not yet. I'm working on one.
Okay. Well, when the vegetables start to come along and are being harvested, that's when they'll all show up, right?
That's fine by me.
Yeah. Come on down, folks. We have vegetables here. We want you to take them home and eat them. Okay, well, that's all for this segment of Garden Spaces. Keep your eye out. We'll be back. Spaces is looking for more gardens to show on this program. If you would like to show your garden, flower, or vegetable to folks in Whitman and Hanson, send an email to info@whca.tv, put Garden Spaces on the subject line, and put your contact information in the body of the email. We'll get back to you.